There are four kind of cash offers you might get on your home. They're different, and it matters where it's coming from before you make a decision. Hi, my name's Jason Gruner. I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And if you live in Nashville, specifically South Nashville, there's a good chance you've gotten cash offers on your house. Now, they're not all created equal. There are four main sources where a cash offer will come from. I'm just going to break those down real quick, the pros and cons of each, just to give you a good idea so you can make a better decision. If you do want to sell your house, it's certainly a viable option to do it this way. It's usually an easy transaction depending on the situation. You don't have to do open houses, you don't have to put it on the market. You might not get absolute top dollar for it, but if you want a quick and easy sale, it is a viable option for selling your home. So certainly don't dismiss it. But there are some differences in the types of cash offers you get. The first one, number one, would be from a builder or developer. It's probably a local person, a local builder who's looking at a house to either remodel it or tear it down and bulldoze it and build a new home on it. Now, it might be a home for a specific client that wants to build, or it might just be they're going to build a spec home. Those are really good for a couple reasons. Number one, they're not trying, if your lot is, let's say you have a home that's worth $1 million, they're smart enough and look at enough deals that they're probably not going to pay $650 for it. They know that. And a lot of times they're willing to pay $1 million for it, market value, just because they need projects to do, because they have crews, they have bank lines of money that they have to put into action. So they're willing to pay a lot of times close to market price for a potential project, whether it's a tear down or a remodel. The nice thing about working with a local builder developer is they know the ins and outs of your specific lot. They've already pulled up building setbacks, what jurisdiction it is, whether you're in Oak Hill, Forest Hills, Green Hills, 12 South, Brentwood, whatever your area you are, they already know all the rules. If there's a flood zone or a blue line stream nearby, they know that. They know what they have to work around. They're just a very, very knowledgeable person. So if they're making an offer, it's typically going to come with 7 to 10 days of due diligence where they can just make sure and confirm there's no issues with either remodeling or tearing down your home and building a new one. And then they can usually close. A lot of them, when it's a cash situation, can close in 7 to 10 days. They can close quick, let you stay in for a week or two sometimes, or they can just do the closing after you guys have moved out 30 days later. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So working with a local builder developer to purchase your home with a cash offer is a really good option. Number two is an individual that wants to buy your house. I live in South Nashville. We get these letters, not every day, but on a fairly regular basis, and they'll come from one of two sources. Either an individual has written a note, hey, we love your neighborhood, we go to church nearby, our kids are in school nearby, we'd love to buy a house like yours. If you'd ever consider selling it, please give us a call. Or it's from the realtor, hey, my name's Susan with Compass Real Estate. I have clients that want to be in Oak Hill. If you'd ever consider selling your home, they're absolutely willing to pay market price. Please reach out to me and maybe we can put a deal together. These are great. And again, a lot of these times they are cash buyers. So a local end user cash buyer is a really, really solid option if you're looking to sell your home. It's nice, even if it's someone relocating and they're working with a real estate agent, you know it's someone who's serious because you're not the first home they've looked at. In today's market, they've probably bid on 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 and missed out, and they're getting frustrated, and they've gone to their agent and said, please do anything to find us a house to buy. The nice thing is you can definitely get close to market price. You might not get obviously if you're just dealing with one person, you're not going to get a bidding war because there's no one for them to bid against. But if you have a set number in your mind, again, let's just use the example. If you have a house that's worth $1 million and a Compass real estate agent mails you a letter saying, hey, I have a buyer who will pay close to market price, call me if you want to work out a deal. You can probably get them to pay close to $1 million, maybe even a little bit over. So it's definitely a viable option. So number two is an end user who actually wants to live in your house. Number three is a big time investment firm. Now these are out there. We don't see a whole lot of it in the higher end, but stuff under 600 in Nashville, we see investors who want to buy it and rent it out and keep it as a rental property. And we see hedge funds constantly making all cash offers on houses. Again, it's that under 600 number is typically where you see these come in at. And these are usually pretty strong. If it's a hedge fund, obviously the money's strong, but they're going to have a lot of criteria that they have to go through. Again, and they're not going to do the due diligence on your deal before they make an offer. They're going to want to tie it up, then figure out if it works for them. So this one's a little bit more risky than, say, a local builder developer or someone who's already fallen in love with your neighborhood and is serious about it. That third option is just a straight investor. They're going to buy it and rent it out, or it's a hedge fund that's going to do the same thing. Those guys are going to have some strict underwriting criteria. So it's not going to be something like, oh, yep, cash, close in 7 days. I already know everything about your house. I don't need to do any inspections. Like you'll see with a local builder developer. These hedge funds will have pretty extensive processes to go through to make sure your house is the right fit for them and it fits in their criteria. They call it a buy box, just to make sure everything lines up. They know they can rent it for the right amount. So we will see the ones that go under contract with hedge funds, they usually close about 70% of the time. Builder developer who's already done their due diligence on your house, and they're serious and they're local, they've built houses in the area, those guys close 95% of the time. A local individual who's looking to buy and has a good working knowledge of the neighborhood, they tried to buy one around the corner, it didn't work out. Those are pretty solid. We see those offers typically go through as well. The hedge fund guys, it's about 70%. The fourth one you see is it's an actual wholesaler coming to make you an all cash offer. And what they're really doing is tying up your property and they're going to try to flip it to another individual cash buyer. So these guys will come out, they'll look at your house. Oh, this is worth, we can get you $1 million for this. Great, let's put it under contract. And then they will turn around and go try to find, they have a list of buyers because they advertise, hey, if you want to buy houses for cash in Nashville, they have a long list that they email these deals out to every single day. I'm on like 20 of these lists. So I see every deal that comes across the table. And what that wholesaler is doing is they'll tie up your house for $1 million. Hey, I'll close on your house in 21 days for $1 million. Does that sound good? Does that sound fair? They'll have some fees worked in there and stuff like that. And then they'll go and they'll market it to their list of cash buyers. Hey, I've got this great deal. It's $1.1 million. And they'll keep that spread. Their profit is that $100,000 in the middle. These deals, the closing rate is much, much lower. And if they come and represent as themselves as a cash buyer, that's not really what they are. I would always be a little bit weary of these. I would definitely get a second opinion. If a wholesaler had come to me and said, I'll give you $850,000, whatever the number is, I would absolutely talk to someone else just to make sure that you're in line with the market values. Now listen, these guys buy houses and flip. They do it all the time. Hundreds of deals across Middle Tennessee. So they do execute. It's just at a lower percentage rate. There's a little bit more risk when you go that route versus a local builder investor, an end user client, or an actual investor that's just looking to buy it to rent, or a hedge fund. So those are the four options of people. When you see this, I'll give you a cash offer for your home. Number one, it's a local builder investor. Number two, it's an end user, and sometimes they'll be on their own, and sometimes they'll be working with a real estate agent. Number three is who's an investor, who's a long-term holder. And number four is a wholesaler, or a flipper is what folks call them, looking to tie your home up and then sell it to someone else and capture that spread in the middle. Now, the most important thing, if you talk to any of these people, is get a second opinion. No matter what you do, if they say, hey, listen, all the houses in the area sell for $1 million, I'll give you $1 million. Listen, you can trust them, but please verify it. Call a local real estate agent, call an appraiser. If you want to call me, my number's somewhere around this video. I'll happily give you a ballpark idea. Yes, that's a really good deal, or that's probably a little low. I think you could probably get more if you talk to these three people. And we do deals like that all the time. Again, I live in South Nashville. My neighbors always ask me, hey, someone walked up my driveway with a contract. Is this a good deal? It's like, no, that one's definitely not a good deal. Don't do it for that. Or like, hey, that's a really fair price. If it makes sense for you to sell right now, you should potentially do that deal. I mean, I'm happy to give that opinion of value. I do it all the time for homes in South Nashville. I see everything that comes across on the MLS and most of the transactions that happen. So I have a really good idea of what your home would sell for in this market. So if you ever get a cash offer and you're seriously considering taking it, Please get a second opinion from a real estate agent, an appraiser, or if you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to do that. Free of charge, no obligation, anything like that. Just help you make a good informed decision. Again, my name's Jason Gruner with Coldwell Banker Barnes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll talk to you soon.